Have you ever walked away from a conversation with someone and thought, wait a second, I just shared my whole life story with them. What the heck happened? How did they do that? Or maybe you have trouble in conversations getting to know someone on a deeper level and you're thinking, how can I become the friend that everyone opens up to? Well, what if I told you that it's not just a gift that some people got and some don't? It's actually a skill set that can be learned and honed over time. And in this episode, I'm going to teach you the steps to become exactly that type of friend, the one that everyone trusts and opens up to. Hey, I'm Zoe Asher, a friendship coach who has spent the past 15 years sharing over 500 meals with strangers to learn exactly what it takes to build extraordinary friendships to help you level up yours. And I'm going to share a serious disclaimer right up front at the beginning of this episode. Because if you're watching this video and you have a goal of getting juice or dirt on somebody as to something that's gone on in their past, or you're hoping to manipulate it for future purposes, then I am going to kindly ask you to leave this video right now. Because this episode is for people that truly want to learn how to get better at deepening their connections with the friends that are in their life and becoming a place and a person that others can trust. So that being said, if you're still here, I'm going to believe that you are the type of person who is looking to improve and deepen the existing friendships in your life, and that you want to be the person who your friends feel safe enough to share everything that's truly going on in their life so that you can walk with them through it. The idea for this episode came a week ago when I was on a trip with a group of women who were acquaintances for me. I barely knew anyone in the group on a deep level. So of course, I was going to make that my goal. How can I go from acquaintance to friends with the people that are in the room with me? And there was a funny conversation that had happened with the group the second day we were together. And someone whipped their head at me and said, hey, I don't know what you do, but you just got me to share my whole life story. And I don't know how you did it. And then another girl said, wait, no, me too. What is it? And I realized, okay, no, this is something that definitely needs to be discussed because I was not always like this. But throughout my adult life, I have made it an intentional practice to first embody and become the type of friend that I want in my life. And that involves becoming a place where people feel safe enough to share what's really going on and a person that others trust. So here's the first step to become the friend that everyone opens up to. Go first in vulnerability. I'm going to camp here because there's a lot of elements to what vulnerability is and is not. But there is this sociological principle called the reciprocal self-disclosure. And essentially what that is it's signaling to others that this is a safe environment. I am a safe person to share with. And here's the deal. Humans were wired to return the favor. It's just kind of part of our nature. So I go first in vulnerability by sharing an element of my life that you wouldn't know unless you had a conversation with me. I start by giving a little context, not, sharing my whole life story, every detail, just doing verbal vomit all over them. When you share a little context, that means not naming anybody or anything or overtly giving enough context for them to piece together who or what maybe your situation is or was fully about, but it's sharing something. And what the goal in that vulnerability is, I want someone who can be trusted. I want a trustworthy friend. And the only way to find out if someone can be trustworthy is by sharing a little bit of yourself first. And maybe you're asking, well, how do I know what to share and how to be vulnerable without oversharing? And I'm going to do a completely separate episode on that. So make sure you're subscribed to get that when that launches. But here's what I'll say for now as a quick hit. When you are in conversations like this with someone, often you're going to only want to speak from a place of a scar as opposed to an open wound that's actively radiating in your life. Yes, there are certain situations where you can speak about an active open wound, but you need to do so carefully as to not start bleeding on others emotionally. And here's how you do it. You make it a very specific reason as to why you're sharing your open wound. That reason would be trying to get insight, hope, encouragement from the other person. If the goal is, I want to share that I am the victim and I have been hurt by this situation, this person, etc., that's not a good time to share an open wound, because the temptation is going to be there to try and win them to be on your side instead of someone who can walk with you through it, to pull you through and get into the growth phase to heal from that. Quick pause for a second. If you're currently questioning a friendship in your life, thinking, is this time for the friendship to end? What do? I don't know what's happening. I made something that I think is really going to help. Most adults were never actually taught how to evaluate our friendships. So we stay too long in the wrong ones, or we walk away from the right ones. That's why I created a free guide called 12 Questions to Ask Before You End a Friendship. It will walk you through the exact questions that you need to ask and think through on your own to figure out whether a friendship needs repair, a real conversation, or it's time to let go altogether. I've spent the last 5 years working as a friendship coach, and my insights on relationships have been featured in Bloomberg, Newsweek, Success Magazine, and more. So if you want clarity on a confusing friendship in your life, grab the free guide using the QR code you see on the screen or the first link you see in the description below. Let's finally get some clarity on where we stand with those friendships in our life. So going first in vulnerability, making it very strategic of, hey, I want to share a little bit about myself because I believe that you are someone that I want to trust. And therefore, that leads us to number 2. You are giving them the opportunity to hold your trust. And I know you might be thinking, and what if they betray me? Do you know what? It's a great question. Because people could choose to betray you based on what you share with them. And the only way that you are going to find who's truly trustworthy is by choosing to trust. And what I will say is that through the years, I have found who can and cannot be trusted by going first in vulnerability. And that more often than not, people can be trusted. I know, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing your pushback right now. That's not true, because when I trusted someone, blah, blah, blah. I hear you. I've been betrayed. Okay, I have episodes talking about how to work through a betrayal, but I'm saying that just because one person or a group of people betrayed your trust does not mean the next one or the next group will, and you are worth the risk of finding out if someone can or cannot be trusted. Because the whole goal is to become a friend that other people open up to. And so everything that we're talking through in this video is signaling, I want to trust you. You're someone that I want to open up to. And that makes people feel a sense of weight of, oh my gosh, what an honor that they want me to hold this for them. Okay, third step to becoming the type of friend that people feel safe enough opening up to is asking questions to make someone truly feel seen. And I'll give you an example of it because it's kind of vague. But let's say that someone is sharing with you that they went through a breakup. And maybe the breakup was 2 years ago, it's removed, so it's a scar and not an open wound. But you could be tempted to, in the moment of wanting to ask a question of like how the breakup happened, and ask something like, what did they say when you said that? But a way better type of question is to ask about them. What did you feel in that moment after that happened? How did you find hope? I'm trying to get to where their mindset was and where their mindset is now. Because if you can hear how someone thinks about the world, it tells you a lot about them. And it's not overstepping to do that if you are genuinely coming from a place of wanting to know them better. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have had conversations with people and they say, nobody has ever asked me that before. And it's not like there's something special about me that I just have this magic wand of knowing the questions to ask. I'm having a conversation on the fly just like everybody else. But I want to know their heart, their mindset, how they got through it. I want to see how they look at the world. How has it changed? That makes people feel safe because they feel seen by you too. And maybe you just heard that and you're saying, well, what if I ask questions to try and make them feel seen and they don't want to discuss it? They will tell you. You won't need to worry about that. They will tell you if it's not something they want to discuss. Okay, step 4, to become the friend people feel like they can open up to. When you are listening to them, genuinely listen and don't interject and ask certain questions to try and, or accidentally pull the conversation off topic or change directions. Don't interject, don't interrupt. And I would say, and I struggle with this too, because I love words. I literally studied the dictionary at one point in my life, okay? I was in the spelling bee, it's a whole thing. Regardless, I would also say, do not try and help them find the words. If it takes them a while to process it and think through it as you ask a question to make them feel seen, let the silence hang and the tension hang there. It only feels uncomfortable if you are trying to get something from them. Some of the best conversations happen after 5 seconds, 10 seconds of silence. Because you might be asking them a question that they have literally never thought of before. So just hold the tension of the moment with them. Genuine curiosity also requires genuine listening. And the 5th step is a little bit of its own type of technique, so I'll talk you through it. After someone shares, acknowledge that they shared it. And do not immediately try and relate it back to yourself, because that could ultimately be seen as trying to put the spotlight back on you. Here's a good way to acknowledge when someone has shared something that was hard for them to share or truly going on a deeper level with you. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, when you were talking about how you have gone through that miscarriage, I felt the pain as you were saying it. I cannot imagine what it felt like to find out that news. That is a way of acknowledging someone's pain, but also sharing with them, hey, that made me feel something too. I feel connected to you because of that. That's a really powerful bonding opportunity because it wasn't just you listening to a story. You decided to walk with them through the emotions that they just shared. So always thank them. And I would say use a feeling that you felt, not what they felt like. Hey, I feel like you should. No. I felt pain. I felt joy. Wow. I felt hopelessness as you shared that moment with me. Thank you so much. I cannot believe that was your reality. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Depending on, the nuance of the conversation, that could be, like I said, a really powerful opportunity to grow the relationship. These are the type of elements that create leveled up friendships. It starts with us choosing to go first. And often that's going first in vulnerability. But here's what I want you to know. I believe that you are worth building incredibly rich friendships in your life. And I believe that you are ready to become the type of person that other people feel like they can share everything with in their life. If we have that desire to find people that we can do life with, guess what? When we work on ourselves and first embody and become that type of friend to others, we're going to attract those same type of friends too. Let's go.